everyone. Welcome to Second Unitarian Church. I'm Christy Grant, a member of the Board of Trustees, and my pronouns are she, her. Is this not on? Hello. We'll start again. Is this working now? Oh, I hear it coming. Okay, great. Good morning. Welcome to Second Unitarian Church. I am Christy Grant, a member of the Board of Trustees, and my pronouns are she, her. Today we are in person at the Admiral at the Lake and here at the 2U Loft and continuing to meet virtually using Zoom. We ask everyone's indulgence for the complications of a three-part service. We're glad you are here, whichever way you are attending. If you are here in the loft and would benefit from hearing assistance, we have devices available. Please see Joey in the back. In accordance with public health guidelines, we have moved to making masks optional here at 2U. Wear them or don't wear them, it's your choice. At any time, masking may be required again to keep everyone as safe as possible. We especially welcome newcomers and visitors this morning. Finding a new community and making new connections can be challenging. Please know that we're excited to have you and look forward to getting to know you. If you're new to us today, please note that in the Zoom chat or mention it in person during conversation after the service. If you would like, here at 2U in person, you can use their blue mugs with the coffee that you can use to signal to others that you would like them to come up and say hello. If you see someone with a blue mug, be sure to say hi. Our worship today is led by Reverend Jason Lydon, along with Gail Gallagher as the worship associate. Music is provided by Rosalind Hurwitz and Director of Music, Carl Kennedy. Our time together requires a large group of people who make possible the worship, the music, and the technical production. They are listed in the order of service, and we thank them for their ongoing service to the congregation. I have a couple of announcements for you this morning. Following the service today, we will have our annual meeting. All are welcome to attend this meeting, but only members may vote on issues coming before the congregation. We will vote on
and when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.
So nice to look at your lovely faces this morning. And if you are noticing that there's a chair next to you and you can scooch in a little bit and maybe make space at the edges, that would be super appreciated. We are a growing community. Isn't that a blessing? And being upstairs, we have a little less room than we're used to. So thank you everybody for adapting to our space, and so glad to see so many visitors this morning. It's such a joy to have you. In just a moment, Zella here in our loft and Harris at the Admiral will light our chalices, the symbol of our faith. And we light our chalices this morning with these words from the Reverend Scott Taylor. This light, it dances, barely able to contain its delight, and it seems to want us to do the same. So this morning, may we let it lure us into letting go of the worries, of the stiffness that sets in after the striving, of the myth that productivity alone gives us purpose. This garden of life we've been given, it's a playground. The weeding, it can wait. So says this delightful flame. Stella, want to light our chalice?
Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be our joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Open, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Open, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Don't be rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Please continue to stand and join me in reciting our covenant. The words are on your screen. We covenant to build a community that challenges us to grow and empowers us to honor the truth within ourselves. We will be generous with our gifts and honest in our communication, holding faithful to a love that embraces both diversity and conflict. Called by our living tradition, we will nurture spirituality within a vision of the eternal, living out our inner convictions through struggles for justice and acts of compassion.
Please join in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots only close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Please be seated. This morning, we dedicate the children who have come into our community over the last year. Today, we celebrate two beloved babies. As Unitarian Universalists, we do not wash away the sins of our children, but rather dedicate them and ourselves to grow within the values we share. Would the families sharing in the dedication of their children please come forward?
Being dedicated into the life of this church begins a path on which all of you will grow in faith. Our faith asks us to expand our religious understanding all the days of our lives, not just when we're young. As a family, you may seek to share with your children the wonder of life and help them learn how to be good stewards of this creation that we are blessed to share. May you remind your children that each person has a spark of the holy inside them, and though we understand God or the mystery of life in different ways, every person is worthy of divine love, for we are all precious, born with original blessing. May you and we share with your beloved children a sense of great love that holds us all, for this is the beginning of our faith, a sense of trust in our connections to one another and the source of all life. Today, the whole congregation makes a promise to your family. Their welcoming of you affirms the responsibility to be there to nurture, teach, and encourage your young people. Will the congregation that's gathered here and joining us over Zoom and joining at the Admiral, please join me in reading in unison the affirmation that is printed in your order of service. It will also be on your screen. We, the members and friends of Second Unitarian Church, welcome these children into our midst and commit ourselves to being the spiritual community that is there for them as they grow and change. We will encourage them to ask their own questions and explore their own answers. May this church be a sanctuary where all children can deepen their faith and discover the love that is found in community. And will you, as a family, cherish and nurture your children in body, mind, and spirit, giving freely of your own ideals and dreams, recognizing that your children must develop on their own as they grow? And will you cultivate within your children a wonder for the earth and its creatures, a spirit of kindness towards all, so that your children may grow into the fullness of life? If so, please say, I will. The rose is a symbol of each child's unfolding life. Beautiful and bold, this rose has had all of its thorns removed, as we seek to show your children the beauty of life while protecting them from the harms and the piercing harshness of the world. We cannot protect them forever, but as they grow, we seek to open the petals of life while shielding your children from the inevitable thorns. And so I give you first to the Vote Merely family. What is the name that you have given this child? Maya Lynn, by this name you shall be called. May you wear this name in courage, in honor, and peace, and may your life unfold like the beauty of this flower. In the future, should you choose a new name for yourself, we will celebrate you in the fullness of who you are, knowing you to be a sacred gift not only to your family, but to our world. Appleby Duran family, what have you given as the name for this child? Magnolia Mercury, by this name you shall be called. May you wear this name in courage, in honor, and in peace, and may your life unfold like the beauty of this flower. In the future, should you choose a new name for yourself, we will celebrate you in the fullness of who you are, knowing you to be a sacred gift to not only your family, but our world. And I invite either both parents from each side to come forward, but to share some of your hopes that you have for your child.
To Maya, our second child, we are so grateful that the universe has given you to us to complete our family. Know that no matter what you grow up to be or do, or where you will go in your life, you will always be supported by your family, and especially your big brother, Noah. In turn, we hope you choose to provide your support for all in need. We close with the same hopeful words we used at the end of Noah's dedication 3 years ago. We hope that you will always be true to yourself, your own perfect self, and that you will know that you are enough. And we hope that you learn to grow to be kind to yourself, kind to others, and kind to the earth.
Magnolia. Our hope for you is a life full of authenticity, divinity, partnership, grace, community, and well-being.
We hope that you show up with your full power, owning your strengths, challenges, and your needs and desires enthusiastically.
We hope that you know that you maintain awe and wonder at the magic of the world around you, that you know that you are one tiny part of a great big world with both the responsibility to care for others and the earth, as well as the comfort of never being alone.
We hope that you find others who are excited to create, play, grow, and build with.
We hope that you learn to be kind to yourself and others, to know that the goal is never perfection, only honesty.
We hope that you attract others with loving, compassionate spirits who are there to hold you during hard times, party with you in good times, and that you know how to show up for one another.
We hope that you learn to trust yourself, that you never sacrifice your whole self, and also know that there is healing in giving to others. We hope that you believe that no is a complete sentence, without justification or explanation.
On behalf of our learning community, it is my pleasure to welcome you and your families into our faith development program. Families are the primary influence in their children's lives. Know that we are here to nourish and support you in your journey as your whole family discovers and rediscovers what is true and meaningful for you. As these children begin their journey in this community, let us keep in mind that we share the responsibility of caring for them, and one primary way we do that is by providing caring adults and lots of opportunities in our religious education experiences to ask questions and for them to find their own answers. We will celebrate with you and mourn with you, laugh with you, and cry with you. Through it all, we pledge this community will be at your side. You may be seated. It's me again. How about that? It's me again. I would like to invite all the young and young at heart to come forward for our time for all ages. So, a while back, the kids in the Superhero Academy classroom, our 1st through 5th graders, had a chance to make a list or to write a letter to the members of our Board of Trustees about what they wanted church to be like. And I thought that it might be a good way for us to look forward to next fall, because Sunday school will end for the year next week. And it will be good for all of us to know what you want to have happen at church next fall. Yes, Escher? I want to hear the last. That's okay. We're starting over. I would like to invite the members of the board to come forward. Jobson, what is your question, or would you like to come forward too? You would like to have what? Movie nights. Ooh. So, and because this is my last time sharing the time for all ages for a while, I want you all to know that what you tell us today about what you want church to be is really important for all of our grown-ups to know about so they can help make it happen. So let's see what's in our Wonder Box. It might be connected to our conversation. Zella, can you hand out those little strips of paper so everyone can read a strip of paper? Make sure the kids get some too. Did one get ripped? Okay, that's all right. Lucas, can you start us off? What does your question say? What is the most challenging part of Sunday school, or maybe the least interesting part? I'm so glad we're starting off with the easy stuff. Does anybody have an answer? Yes, Escher.
I know the most challenging part.
What's the most challenging part?
Trying to answer the question.
Trying to answer the question. I just want you to know this is entirely scripted. All right, anyone else? What is the most challenging part of Sunday school? The grown-ups can answer too, maybe. What's Noah? What's the most challenging part? Sitting in a chair. We like to be moving. Okay, what else? Yes, Zella. Not moving around when you really want to. That is the hardest part. Okay, Rob, would you do our next question?
What could we do to make church more interesting or more fun for kids or for teenagers?
Ooh, Escher.
Having more Sunday school.
Having more Sunday school. That's an idea. More Sunday school? All right. Yeah? Anybody else have an answer? What we could do better? More toys. Okay. All right. We have a lot of what toys?
Yeah, we have a lot of instruments, not many.
Well-
Like you can really play around with.
Okay, so we have a lot of instruments, but not toys you can play around with. Yes, Lucas?
I think we have enough toys, just more time to use them.
More time to use them. Okay, maybe we need to have a longer Sunday school. Ruby, what's your question?
Is there a favorite part of Sunday school that you like?
Oh, does anybody have a favorite part? Yes, Ruby.
Snack time.
Snack time. Zella?
My favorite part is hearing joys and sorrows because that really helps me know what's happening in everyone else's life.
Zella's favorite part is hearing joys and sorrows because it helps her know what's happening in everybody's life. Remy, and then Escher, and then Lucas, and then Noah. Oh, thank you. Playing at school. Okay. Lucas?
Snack time.
Snack time.
And when we get to go upstairs and have extra snacks.
Coffee hour. How about you, Escher, and then Noah?
To be honest and fair, just being with the teachers.
To being with the teachers. Okay. How about you, Noah? Playing with the toys. Noah, can you ask your question? We're ready for a new question. What do you learn about in Sunday school? Some people in our congregation might not know what we learn. Zella?
We usually learn about what superheroes do because we have this big superhero book in every time we go to Sunday school, there's a specific superhero.
Okay, so we,
About what superheroes and how they
how superheroes help us. Okay, who hasn't gone with their question? Asher, have you gone with your question? Okay, you go ahead.
Is there anything that you want to learn about?
Is there anything you want to learn about during Sunday school that you haven't learned about yet? Oh, is there anything you want to learn about? So we still have a question. How about you, Christina? Oh, what's your question? Nope.
Are the things you learn about in Sunday school connected to the things you do every day at home?
Are the things you learn about in school connected to the things you learn about at home? Yes, Escher.
not in the superhero academy, but usually yes.
Usually, yes. Is it about being a person in the world? Is that what the lessons are about? Yep. Lucas? You want to learn about more math in 4th grade. That's so specific. All right, so as you can see, our children have lots of opportunities to learn and lots of ways to do it. Oh, Zella, did you not get to ask your question? Okay, let's end on Zella's question.
How do you want to feel when you come to church or when you leave church?
How do you want to feel when you come to church and when you leave church? Okay, Zella and then Escher.
I want to feel happy.
Zella wants to feel happy? Yes, Ruby. You want to feel energized? Oh, okay. Yes, Lucas and then Escher.
Kind of related to Ruby. This is how I do feel. When I come to Sunday school, it's still morning and I'm sleepy. And when I'm done with it, I'm awake.
Sunday school wakes you up. Okay, last words. Escher?
I want to feel happy.
I want to feel happy. All right, so we're going to seek contentedness and happiness next fall. Will you please join me in singing our children to their classes?
How lucky are we to have such amazing young people? What a joy. So each year, we all make a commitment, and you've already done this for next year, a pledge that we make to support the ministry of our church. But in addition to this contribution that we make each year, on Sundays we take a collection so that we can share with those who are doing justice work well beyond our church walls. While we're still not passing the plate yet, and we're going to get to a place where we're doing that and figuring out counters and all of the good things to make that happen, you can still give your money and contribution via a text to give prompt, which you can find the information in your order of service, or in a moment you will see it on your screen. For the month of June, we are sharing our plate with migrant and refugee solidarity efforts in Lakeview. And this morning we have some words from Barb Michael.
Morning. So for the month of June, we are partnering with Lakeview Lutheran Church, other organizations, and elected officials to support migrant families in need in Chicago right now. Our monetary donations will help create financial resources needed to assist the migrants as they transition from police department floors through shelters and temporary housing. I promised to give you an update on needed supplies which you could take to Lakeview Lutheran Church. However, due to many supplies being dropped off there, they need time to reorganize their volunteers and space. They are also having renovations done for a whole year. You may now drop off supplies directly at aldermanic offices in the 43rd, 44th, 46th, and 47th wards. as well as a few other places that are posted outside our door. Green and white and a blue and white sheet of paper. I'll read some of the suggested items needed and also post them on the 2U Social Justice Ministry Facebook page. Blankets, yoga mats, disinfectant wipes, socks, underwear, jeans, kids' math activity books and writing utensils, and books in Spanish for preschoolers in particular. A gentle reminder, the police station is not a drop-off location. Now, who can remember one item that I mentioned? Call it out. Good. Excellent listening, excellent memories. That's great. This is truly a community effort, and we appreciate your generosity and support. Thank you.
I invite you now to join me in reading our offertory words. The words are printed in your order of service and will be on the screen. This church is the community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm it and enable its participation in the larger world around us. The offering will now be generously given and gratefully received.
I invite you now, wherever it is that you are, to join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation. Let's begin by breathing together. Try relaxing the muscles in your shoulders. Release the tension in your neck. Unclench your jaw. Notice the sounds around you and breathe. We begin in thanks. Thankful for the breath in our lungs, the beauty of our earth, and the strength of this, our beloved community. We hold in our hearts those who care for family in ill health, those who live with grief or chronic pain, those struggling with addiction or illness, seen and unseen. We are with you. For parents and teachers and all those whose primary spiritual practice is the care of children, we are with you. We pray for our neighbors in prison, for those who are struggling to stay afloat in the midst of poverty. We are with you. As gun violence continues to impact our country and this world, we pray for all those living in harm's way. We pray for our planet and commit to work that will lead us away from the harms of climate chaos. As war rages on, we pray that wisdom, compassion, and empathy guide the leaders of our world. May they and we be instruments of a just and lasting peace. Our lives are truly blessed by those who knowingly, with curiosity and courage, face their final days. Into this, our shared silence across space, I invite you now to speak the name of anyone you wish to lift up into the loving support of our community. With our deepest compassion, let us hold in our hearts those named and unnamed, those remembered and those forgotten. Let it be so. Amen and blessed be. There are some chairs up here if you need them. During our ritual of lighting candles for joys and concerns, we want to continue to maintain our safety with each other. Here in the 2U loft, you are invited to come forward and light a candle. And as you end your time of contemplation and candle lighting, we invite you to use the hand sanitizer that's available. For those of us at the Admiral, I invite you to come forward and take a pebble from one bowl, hold it tightly in your hand, and putting your energy into the stone, and then knowing your joys and sorrows to be shared by this community, let it go lightly into the other bowl. And for those of us on Zoom, please join in by sharing your joys and concerns in our chat window. And I will light a candle here to represent your celebrations and sorrows. We hold all of these, our shared joys, celebrations, concerns, and sorrows close to our hearts. I want to invite Christy Grant and Judy Corbet to come forward and join me at the pulpit. For today is indeed a day of celebration, a day when we draw the circle a little wider to make room for those friends who have decided to make a commitment to join us as members of the Second Unitarian Church of Chicago. We already welcomed babies, now let's welcome some adults. Christy.
We recently held a new members class. We talked about the various journeys that led each of us to the community and what prompted us to choose this place as our church home.
Did I get taller?
Something.
We talked about the history of Unitarian Universalism and the story of our congregation and how it works. And we talked about what membership means so that each person could come to a decision that sat well with their own sense of integrity.
Friends of the church are welcome to participate fully in all activities. Come to worship with us, attend our social events, learn in our classes, make new friendships. Let this community feed you and give back as you are able. We have many friends in our midst, and we value you.
Membership is something more. When you sign the book and become a member of the church, you are saying that your commitment to this community runs deeper. When you are a friend, you have expectations that this church will meet your needs as an individual. As a member, you are pledging that the community can ask things of you in return.
Members of the Second Unitarian Church of Chicago gain the privilege of voting, which is so convenient today because it's our annual meeting, and having a voice in shaping the future of this, our beloved community, building a strong foundation for generations yet to come. Membership is a promise to stay connected by staying in relationship to the people in this community, to ask questions, to raise ideas, to offer assistance, to be present, to ask for what you need, to forgive when necessary, and to practice compassion, even as we all strive to be better human beings sharing this beautiful planet. Membership is a promise to stay at the table, even when the going gets rough. So this is a day to celebrate, even as it is a day of growth and change. Our community is growing, and we must draw the circle wider to make room for these new members who have decided we are worthy of their friendship, trust, and commitment. So members of 2U, existing members, how will you be in relationship to these friends who have decided to grow our circle wider? You'll find your response in your order of service and on the screen. Note, this is our members of the congregation, not our new members yet. Welcome you to the newest members of our community. We promise to make room for you as you explore and find your place here. We want to hear your questions and your ideas, your hopes and your fears. We will do our best to live up to your expectations of us as individuals and as a community. And we hope you will recognize that we are imperfect, and that you will love us even when we disappoint you. We may stumble sometimes, but we will not abandon you. We celebrate your choice to join us and honor us with your presence and commitment. Take your place among us with confidence. You are welcome here. And so, you beautiful new members, we'd love for you to come forward and join us up here. Maybe we'll spread out this way. New members of this year. Being ingathered. Ingatherees. Judy should have communicated with you that you will be joining us. All right, and you'll need your order of service, or you'll be able to see what you're going to say right over there. So to our beloved new members, gosh, it's so nice to look at you. How will you be in relationship to this congregation? Your response is in your order of service. We join you.
To this community, you've already signed the 2U membership book, or will right after the service. Today, we offer you a flower in celebration of the beauty that is cultivating new community. Just as the petals of this flower unfurl, so too will this community open its arms to you.
So members of Second Unitarian, are these new members of our church welcome amongst us?
Yes, they are. We're rejoicing.
And don't leave quite yet. I'd love if you all each share just briefly your name, the pronoun you use, and one gift you're planning to bring to the church. This is kind of on the spot, so no pressure.
Diane Sander, she, her, and I've been a member of UU in Vermont and just excited to be part of this community.
Hi, my name is Moni Ruiz Velasco. My pronouns are she, her, and I bring my family and advocacy.
Hello, Denise Poliak, she, they, and I bring a passion for justice.
Hello, Brandon Nix, he or they, and I will continue to bring ongoing creativity.
My name is Tolkara Guy Webb. I'm from UU Santa Fe, and I'm really looking forward to bringing night worship, hopefully.
Hi, everyone. Megan Colgan, she, her, and I will bring some authenticity and just a welcoming spirit as well.
Hi, I'm Jonas Olson, coming from UU Clearwater. Hope to bring some good times and some good conversation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lizzie Appleby. My pronouns are she and her, and hoping to bring some authenticity.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nat Duran. My pronouns are they, them, and I hope to bring enthusiasm and curiosity.
Thank you for sharing your gifts with us, telling us a little of who you are. We are blessed as a congregation to have you. And you can both sit down as well. And Gail, would you share our reading with us?
Our reading this morning is To Savor the World or Save It by Richard S. Gilbert, starting with a quote from E.B. White. It's hard to know when to respond to the seductiveness of the world and when to respond to its challenge. If the world were merely seductive, that would be easy. If it were merely challenging, that would be no problem. But I arise in the morning torn between the desire to improve the world and a desire to enjoy the world. This makes it hard to plan the day. I rise in the morning torn between the desire to save the world or to savor it, to serve life or to enjoy it, to savor the sweet taste of my own joy or to share the bitter cup of my neighbor, to celebrate life with exuberant step or to struggle for the life of the heavy laden. What am I to do when the guilt at my bounty clouds the sky of my vision? When the glow which lights my everyday illuminates the hurting world around me? To savor the world or save it? God of justice, if such there be, take from me the burden of my question. Let me praise my plenitude without limit. Let me cast from my eyes all troubled folk. No, you will not let me be. You will not stop my ears to the cries of the hurt and the hungry. You will not close my eyes to the sight of the afflicted. What is that you say? To save, one must serve. To savor, one must save. The one will not stand without the other. Forgive me, in my preoccupation with myself, in my concern for my own life, I had forgotten. Forgive me, God of justice. Forgive me and make me whole. Let us hear our anthem.
Good morning, I'm Rosalind Hurwitz, and my pronouns are she, her. And I would like to dedicate this song to Reverend Jason, who's been asking me to sing it for about 2 years at least now. And I'm going to sing it two times through, so the second time, I would love it if everybody would join me singing about your favorite things. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Let's see. Raindrops on roses. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with springs. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so
which also includes the Marvel Cinematic Universe, swimming in the lake, snuggling cats as often as possible, hanging out at church, and going to bed before 10 p.m. These are a few of my favorite things. So take a moment and consider what yours are. We get this beautiful song sung for us by Rosalind, and it's a reminder that no matter what is happening around us, there is still joy to be found. There are still those things in which we can delight. While we have not been using theme-based ministry much this year, the Soul Matters theme for this month is delight. And to be honest, it's been a little bit of a challenge to embrace it. And even though it's a challenge, though, that doesn't make it any less important. I think, in fact, because it's hard to embrace delight sometimes, maybe that's just the reason why we're supposed to do it together. One of the most annoying things about navigating depression has been the regular presence of what psychiatrists call anhedonia. Anhedonia is the fancy medical word for the reduced ability or complete inability to experience pleasure in things that usually bring joy. And it's been a slow process for me to be able to experience joy again after falling into a deep depression. And I wonder if this has ever happened to you. I wonder if you've experienced something like this, where joy seemed far away, where delight seemed difficult to delight in. Have you found yourself just not quite able to laugh in ways you once did? Or have you noticed that you were unable to embrace the joy that you found easier to embrace at other times? And this comes not only because of depression, but also because of just holding the hardness of the world or the difficulties of any given life situation. I find it interesting to know that our brains are hardwired to experience negative emotions more potently. At one point in our evolutionary history, this was very helpful. Anxiousness and worry kept us hanging out in caves as early humans and not adventuring out and getting eaten by wild animals, I guess. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about our evolutionary history as early humans, but I can notice how it plays out in my brain. I can still remember the foolish things I did when I was a teenager, but it's harder to remember just the joyous things that happened a couple years ago. And that's not my fault. It's not your fault if this is something that you experience as well. This happens in our brains. Our brains, as beautiful and complex as they are, they don't always act in the most friendly of ways. And so embracing delight becomes something we have to practice more than we just let happen to us. It becomes a discipline, like we often talk about how hope, too, is a discipline. One of my heroes, Dorothy Day, founder of the radical Catholic worker movement in the United States, she strongly embraced the need for delight. She would often quote the 19th century English critic John Ruskin, who lifted up what he called the duty of delight. Dorothy Day was building up a movement of Catholics to care deeply about the experiences of poor people. She was committed to transforming the ways that people around her understood God's love. The saving grace of Jesus' teachings for her were not supposed to be limited to the spiritual experience of individuals, but instead the material reality of poor people in the world. She called upon her fellow Catholics to embrace a ministry that worked to eliminate poverty, that worked to end homelessness, a ministry that truly saw people who were living in poverty as whole people who did not need spiritual salvation, but rather needed a transformation in the systems that created poverty. Day after day, she was engaged in the work of creating houses of hospitality and resistance movements that centered a humanizing vision of eliminating poverty. Not a kind of top-down charity, but authentic acts of solidarity and transformation. This ministry put Dorothy Day in spaces where she encountered great suffering and overwhelming injustice. She could not, however, release her commitment to finding joy or cultivating delight. According to one of her biographers, Dorothy Day would use the phrase, the duty of delight, in her journals right after reciting a long list of the injustices she had witnessed. This duty was a reminder for Day that God's love is greater than any of the injustices one may face. God's love is greater than any of the injustices one may face. In our Unitarian Universalist theology, though, whether one believes in God or not, we can understand this belief as a reminder that the universe is truly interconnected and that the harm we experience within it does not diminish the beauty that we can simultaneously experience. This theological concept reminds me of words of Chicago organizer Benji Hart, who writes, "For me, black joy and black mourning are inherently tied. There's joy in the mourning, just as there is mourning in the joy. Black joy is always intermeshed with the knowledge of survival, but that's exactly what makes it so potent. The duty of delight is not about ignoring the suffering, but remembering that along with the suffering, so too is their profound beauty, breathtaking joy, and overwhelming delight." Now, you might be getting anxious that we have a big annual meeting that's supposed to start, and we've already delighted in both new babies and new members, so maybe it's time to stop delighting and moving on to the next thing. And I promise we will. But first, I want to close with a poem from the Reverend Lynn Unger that Reverend Elizabeth pointed out to me over Facebook just the other day. This feels particularly appropriate given the rain we got last night and into this morning. Much, much needed rain. And I hope that you might delight in this poem with me. The middle of June, and I awake to rain. Gentle, persistent, enough to soak the ground and clear the air. Isn't this the best kind of surprise? The thing you wanted but couldn't get for yourself and didn't know that you could have. Already the frogs are singing and the grass stretches its roots in rejoicing. And here am I with my damp hair, not me, and empty hands and nothing to say but oh, and thank you. Once again, the world, my one true love, has brought me flowers. This morning we shared flowers that had their thorns removed with the littlest amongst us. So too did we share flowers with new members, the newest amongst us. Our congregation is like a garden. It takes tending and care. The beauty is always present, whether the spring flowers or the evergreens that show their beauty best when surrounded by naked trees and sleeping plants. And we need the rain, like tears that come just right on a Sunday, or even in the heartbreak we feel when church doesn't live up to all we need it to be. We encounter each of these moments together, and it's up to us to find the delight and then live into it on our own and collectively. So let's return to the beginning. In what do you delight? What makes the edges of your lips turn up? What tickles your heart? What makes your joy profound? What makes you hold your breath for just a moment, taking in the awe of it all? Whatever it is, embrace it. Our world is broken, but so too is it profoundly beautiful. Let us delight in it. Let it be so, and amen.
Rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, number 1000, which is the first one in your teal hymnal, Morning Has Come. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of happy shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawned, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of hope shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
We invite you to rest your hands upon your hearts or clasp hands with those you're sharing your life with in these pandemic times, and hear these words of benediction from Adrienne Marie Brown. We are a delight. We could be another's blessing with our brief and epic lives, where every day we are given the option to love. And so let us choose to love. Go in peace, my friends. There is cake and snacks downstairs. There will be lunch served, and then please come up back here as kind of quickly. Well, we'll start at 12:15, so you have about 30-ish minutes to snack it up and hang out. There's cake.